Also, I think this is a hell of a lot more information than I got from Unlimited Blade Works. I don't think they didn't go over all this shit at all. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with another episode of Fate Stay Night. Wish I could say it like the narrator does. Because this is definitely the most different one of all of them. Because this one we get next time ons that aren't just like floating pieces in the background and disembodied voices. We actually see elements of the next episode. And again, deep, throaty narrator.
Fate Stay Night.
Fate Stay Night.
I can't do.
Sorry, it's the element. I don't know. I think I'm thinking of Full Metal Alchemist. You know, Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist. When the halfway through the show thing. Anyway, once again, thank you to David Butt for sponsoring these. And we come back with a new episode with notes and a board and some comments, as we always do. Let's go ahead and pop over to the board, where we have the board changelog. I reordered the Fate Stay Night side of the board for thematic reasons. I connected Mitsuzuri to Sakura with a green line. I added Shinji Matao and connected him to Sakura with a blue line, and Mitsuzuri with a white line. I connected Shinji to Rin with a white line, with a purple arrow from him to her. I connected Shinji to Shiro with a green line. I connected Lancer to Archer and Rin with a red line. I connected Lancer to Shiro with a red line. I connected Shiro to Saber with a green line. And I connected Saber to Lancer with a red line. I've got my notepad just over the screen in such a way that it seemed like you were looking confused for a second, but I can't tell because I can only see half of your face.
No, I was double checking because I thought that you were talking about Sakura and not Rin. I was like, oh, why isn't there a arrow between Rin and Shiro? But that as of yet that has not. Either way, there shouldn't be.
I mean, in what way?
Yet. Romantic, maybe?
Is that been implied?
There's something about her saying, "Oh, of all the people, it has to be you." But
I don't think that implies anything, other than
like
the fact that there's some sort of importance.
She knows about him more than he knows about her. Definitely.
Well, I didn't say it yet, but there's the implication here that I have to put out there that I'm walking on eggshells when it comes to this show, in that I am watching Unlimited Blade Works on a weekly basis, thanks to Fenrir. Shout out to Fenrir, I guess. So there are elements here that I may know or I may not know, given the fact that I still don't know where this is going to diverge. And this is the original. But, again, I'm watching Unlimited Blade Works at a faster clip. So...
You're right.
Well, it's not that I'm ahead. It's the element that Unlimited Blade Works is one of the alternative endings, I guess, to this. And I don't know where the divergence is going to appear. Like, it'd be like if you were watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and you got like to episode 30, but you're only like 3 episodes into Full Metal Alchemist, and you're like, well, things are kind of different, but this is predominantly still the same story. It's like, at that point, I don't know what point to start pointing things out. Also, probably shouldn't be pointing things out because you're not on that other journey. So I'm intentionally only trying to deal with what I see in front of me, and not... Viewers of the first episode would be like, no, he's not. He's constantly pointing out stuff that's different. In absence of having nothing to say, or in lieu of having nothing to say, sometimes pointing out the differences is all I have.
Yeah, that was my only thing. It's like, yeah, not really. No, there shouldn't be anything yet, I think.
I thought you were jumping on Shinji and Shiro having a green line between them.
Shinji and not... Well, I know Shinji's being a little shit, but aside from that, it doesn't seem like...
Is he?
There's this... Well, he's abusing the fact that Shiro wants to help everybody, so it's like, you know.
Well, remember, Shiro came to him.
True, but he's still taking advantage of it. It's like, yeah, and not only that, it's like, oh, he's an idiot, he's a loser. It's like, God damn it, the guy is helping you out, and that's how you know, as you tell the girls who he is, your friend. Yeah, no.
The pre-existing condition between them is that they used to be friends, and there's been nothing happening on screen yet to dissuade me from that opinion. He could be a bad friend, but a bad friend is still a friend.
Is it though?
Yes. You still included the friend in there when you're describing them to people, so clearly you're still a friend. A bad friend is still a friend. It's not like an enemy. It's not a nobody, otherwise you wouldn't describe them as a friend at all.
Yeah, well, somebody
I think you're thinking of a former friend, which is a non-friend that you still includes a friend in the title. A bad friend is still a friend. That's not a bridge that you're willingly...
Friendship would be a positive thing. If it's a bad friend, it's not good.
A bad friend is still a friend. It's not a burnt bridge.
Seems a bit one-sided.
You're saying that. I'm using the term broadly.
I just think that friendship is a positive connection between people.
It is.
Putting bad on it is like, well, this is not.
It's like when we talk about, God, what were we using this term for? I think it was a show that every episode was, I think maybe it was Stardust Memory, where we were like, before episode 12, or whatever. When it's like, trying to rate the different episodes when all the episodes are basically good. That there are different qualities to gold.
Yeah.
Some good gold, some's bad gold. You'd still like to have gold, wouldn't you? Even if it was a lesser quality of gold?
No, I don't think there's actually lesser quality of gold. You can have more or less.
Gold is rated the same way silver is rated, in the same way there's different carats to diamonds.
But that's the concentration of gold in whatever substance you're dealing with.
That is a rating.
That's what it is.
If I gave you a rock and it had a greater concentration of gold and a lesser concentration of gold, which one are you going to pick, right?
Purity, but yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's the same idea. You are nitpicking. Don't be a bad friend.
I wouldn't be much of a friend at all, but sure.
You say that. It might be the element like you won't help me move, you're never there when sorry, the movie theater thing. I don't remember how long ago that thing was, but that was an argument we had for a very long time. You might just, you're flaky, you're fair weather, you're just never there. But the element is that there's still No, I'm not saying a fair weather friend is a bad friend. I'm just saying I'm adding a lot of attributes that are typically negatives to a friendship. That friendships can survive having those attributes put to them. I'm saying that the quality of the friendship is that I get something from having you around that doesn't propose that you require to give anything back.
Oh, maybe we should be a little more intolerant in our lives, I suppose.
I'm sorry, you said intolerant.
Yes.
I think you meant to say we should be a little bit more tolerant.
No, I know what I said.
Okay. What are your thoughts on the South?
Well,
it's a very hard thing here, Lessons, that you're pushing out. And not for nothing, you are half of the mouthpiece of the channel that we need to be more intolerant.
A little bit when it comes to situations like this, like having a bad friendship. It's like, that doesn't sound like a good thing.
Oh, I mean, to be fair, you don't dictate everyone's lives, Lessons.
No, but I would suggest that
if you have no friends and all your choices are having a bad friend and no friends, you're saying you should probably be by yourself and lonely. Also, you can't dictate other people's lives.
No, but I can certainly counsel them against making bad decisions. Whatever they do in their own lives, that's up to them. But if they ask me, I go like, listen, dude, this is how I see it. I would be a good friend to counsel them.
And then they shout, where were you when my father died? At least he was here. Who the fuck are you to tell me I can't hang out with Shinji? Like, right? Who the fuck are you? I don't even know you. Who are you? You spying on me, you piece of shit? And they called 5 friends over, and now you're being surrounded. What are you going to do, man? What the fuck? Who the fuck are you? Who is this guy? You know him? I don't know him.
Damn, dude, this escalated quickly. What the fuck?
I was saying, well, you want to tell imaginary guy what to do. You're saying console him. You mean impose your will? because
that's
you
not
have
the
an
same.
outside point of view about what this two people's relationship are.
I would say something, and if it doesn't heat it, it's like, well, that's entirely up to you, dude. Never mind.
You know, someone might
did my
consider
part.
you a bad friend for trying to break up other friendships of that friend group.
Maybe.
Bad friend might just not be there. Again, fair weather. Just isn't there when you need them to be. You're actively entering into the friendship trying to break up other friendships. That is worse than the bad friend, I think. You're the drama queen of the group.
Really?
Did you hear what Becky said? That's what you're doing.
I wouldn't gossip.
You are gossiping, essentially. I heard.
If I see it, I wouldn't. No. If I heard it from a third party, I wouldn't care. But if
I heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend who.
I wouldn't do that. That is being a bad.
That is what you're doing, though. I heard that Shinji made you clean the archery club. Man, that guy is no good. You shouldn't be hanging out with that guy. That guy's a bad friend. What are you fucking doing, man? That's between me and Shinji.
If I saw it, it's like, dude, what's going on? But if I didn't see it, somebody told me, it's like.
So you're saying you're hanging around the school late at night just watching people? How old are you?
It's just completely derailed. It's just one places I had.
I'm just saying, man, you've put yourself into a position where you shouldn't be in the first place. And I don't mean adult man at a school for children. I'm talking about the element of this is their business, right? Are you Shinji's friend? If you're not Shinji's friend, then you're just Shiro's friend. In which case, what business is of yours who Shiro wants to associate with? Especially if you're not hanging out with Shinji and at the same time Shiro is.
I would prefer to hang out with Shinji than with Shiro, definitely.
What?
I'm sorry, it's with Shiro rather than Shinji. I'm not saying.
That didn't make any sense. I guess she's got all the girls.
Yeah, no.
Because of the bugs? I've got a bug interest?
Anyway, moving on. That was all I wanted to say about. Not even Shiro, other than Shiro's an asshole, but.
What?
Oh, he is.
You did watch the show, right?
Yeah.
Shiro's an asshole.
Shinji's being an asshole. So I'm confusing both names.
You want to hang out with Shinji, and Shiro's an asshole is all I'm picking up so far.
No, Shinji's an asshole. Shiro is fine. That's what I had to say.
Cool.
Now I'll go to my notes, since we apparently have nothing else to say about the board. Let me load them up. I'll have a lot of notes, like I said earlier, before the show started, so...
As I said earlier, before any of you possibly could ever have heard.
Episode 2, Faithful Night. Great. We kick off the episode with a trolley problem. Fantastic. The whole, if you save one person, you can't save another thing, which it's understandable, especially given what we saw in Zero, but at the same time, it's like, well, you should always try to save as many people as possible, even if you fail. It kind of speaks to what the Grail was saying to Emiya, like, you can't do it. Don't even try. Why are you doing? You're always going to end up hurting people. Don't even bother. And I was like, I think that's not the lesson we should get out of that.
God, lessons. You fail every time. You are saying that's not the lesson we should come away with. You're saying, what you should be saying is that's not the lesson we should learn. It's your fucking name, man. Come on.
Either way, you extract the lesson or learn the lesson. Either way.
You name drop yourself, man. You've got to be advertising yourself. So how you not use these are the lessons we've learned or some shit, right? Right there in your own note. You had to have seen it while you were writing it.
No. I'm extrapolating from my note, which was very
there's legitimately no way I can ever name drop my own self in any of this. Not even for the channel, like Ractus, right? What do I mean? And that's what we call them, keys. Or Ractus in Polish. Now, what the fuck? Theta.
Oh, to your note, then.
Well, just to the thing you were saying a second ago, since I never really addressed that. For one thing, you're just addressing a thing that we've heard 3 times now. We heard it in Fate Zero, we heard it the first episode, and now we've heard it this episode.
That seems to be a theme, an ongoing theme. at least twice. If you repeat something more than once, it has a tendency to become a theme.
Well,
At
it
least
becomes an
that's what it is.
advertisement if Jimmy John's has taught me anything.
That's
But
true.
more specifically,
Jimmy
also,
John's in
you bring
years.
up the element of, oh, fantastic, another trolley problem, without really bringing up why you don't like trolley problems.
Well, it's a reduction into absurdity for one thing. Second, it allows people, encourage people to accept bad outcomes and essentially do nothing, because if all the choices that are presented to you are bad choices, you either are gonna make choices under sectarian ideas of, who's with me and who's against me, or you're simply gonna say, well, I can't do anything at all, because if I can't save everybody, then why even bother, right?
Well,
That's why I don't like it.
Well, one, I don't think that's the thing that's being presented, and two, you're just being a pessimist.
No, I'm being an optimist.
You're saying that if all you can do is accept negative outcomes, well, you're making them a negative outcome by labeling them a negative outcome. Do you save one person or two people? Right? You can look at it in a positive light. I saved a man's life. Or you're saying, I failed to save two people's lives. You're being a pessimist where you can be an optimist. And at the same time, this isn't a trolley problem, I don't find. It's not presenting you a problem from which you can't solve. It's saying that you can't save everybody, which is more.
So it gives you the solution, basically, to the problem.
Well, no, I'm saying there's no problem. It's presenting to you a fact of the world. It's not like when faced with a guy pointing a gun. That's a scenario we came up with. A guy pointing a gun at a crowd, and the element that you can't save the gunman. All the Hiratsugu is saying is that you can't save everyone. That's not a trolley problem. That's just a statement.
Yeah, but the way it's worded is very much that way.
It's
you
not.
Save one person, you
a trolley problem involves an actual problem. Hiratsugu is just making a statement about the way the world works. You can't save everyone. He's not like you walk into a mall and a gunman is pointing a gun at a crowd. Do you save the gunman from himself, or do you save the crowd of people from the gunman? You can't save everyone. He's not saying that. He's just saying, in this world, you cannot save everyone. He's making a flat blanket statement, which might be its own problem, but it's not a trolley problem.
It is worded in a way that it is similar to that, because if it would say you can't save everybody, okay, that's it. But he didn't say that. What he said was, you save one person, you cannot save another. That's the way he put it. I'm going with the wording that he
That's
used.
not a trolley problem, though.
It kind of is, though, because you have to decide which one you have to save.
No, because a trolley problem is meant to present you with an element that makes you make a hard choice. Do you save 5 random strangers or one person you're very close to? Right? It's supposed to make you think about things and have to put into context what choices you would make. He's saying if you save one person, you can't save another person. That is not putting you into a situation where you have to make a trolley problem related.
But that's the way it's worded. I think it's very similar. So
I don't think it's the element. If it's similar, is that it includes 2 objects. Anything with 2 objects, in your opinion,
essentially it basically bypasses and goes to the solution. The solution is you can't do that. Full stop.
Because it doesn't bring up the subject.
It assumes it.
It doesn't, though. It insists
because
upon
in order
itself.
for you, if you're in a position to save someone, and you do, then by definition you're not saving someone else. It presumes that you can. That once you commit the act, you're in a situation where you could save one or the other, but not both. Because otherwise, if you don't even know about that other person, that person's not in the formulation. You have to know that there's more people to be saved.
That's not a trolley problem, though. That's just a situation. A trolley problem, again, you know what, maybe I'm just going to leave it here. I disagree with you. Somebody in the comment section, just label us what the difference is between a situation and a trolley problem. Tell us which one of us is right, because this is another one of the million situations where we both think we're right.
One is, what's up? It's not a problem.
Lessons, I just told the comment section to do it. Why are you trying? Well, sometimes you are the comment section. Lessons, if you want, fuck it. If you want, comment in the comment section but don't do it right now. This is for the comment section.
Okay.
As a reminder to the audience, we've seen Fate Zero. It has a playlist on the Patreon and YouTube if you want to see it, so if we don't comment on specific background things, like, say, Rin's father telling her about the Grail War, it's because we saw it and discussed it back when we first happened. Things that change between the two shows will likely be things to bring up, but don't think that we missed something for not having talked about it here in the notes.
See if I got this. Yeah, I got this. Talking about Shinji before. Now we get to see Shinji's descent into darkness. Maybe. Starts as a conceited bully, and if he becomes one of the 7, probably be the worst of them. Either that or he gets killed horribly. You know, as a, oh, yeah, I know this guy died. It's like, yeah, he died. He wasn't that, you know.
I don't know why you think he's going to be the worst of them.
He has the elements of that, right? It's like wanting to, you know, he's very self-serving, self-centered, being all about himself, have a very fragile ego because he got turned down by a girl, which is painful. I get it. But it's like it's a person that makes his problems everyone else's problems, basically.
So you're saying he's going to be the worst guy because he's acting like a teenage boy?
Oh, not all teenagers. Here's the thing, though. Just because he's a teenager, we shouldn't be able to excuse his attitude. Especially when every other teenager doesn't behave that way.
It has nothing to do with excusing his attitude. It's just that everything you've described is just like normal teenage boy behavior. So I don't understand why you're saying that he would be the worst when probably any other person in the school would probably be the same thing.
Except we don't see them acting that way, so. In fact, even the girls...
You don't see him acting that way either. You remember back when we were having this conversation about what a bad friend is and how you wouldn't gossip? You're basing Shinji, mostly, I have to assume, off of what Mitsuzuki... I keep forgetting her name. Mitsuzuri, rather. Says about him acting in the archery club. You didn't see it yourself. Mitsuzuri says it to Shiro.
Well, we were shown on screen what happened, so.
No, are you sure about that? Or is that just the imagery that Mitsuzuri is putting out there?
And then I saw him later on, again, as how he treated...
he said a few unkind words while walking away.
And not only that, the girls was like, is this a thing that we should... it's fine. He's an idiot. Don't worry about it.
Again, he said a few unkind words walking away. Oh no, he's just the worst. He's clearly going to kill us all.
Or he gets killed, you know.
I'm just saying that you're saying that you won't follow into gossip, but literally you're following Mitsuzuri's gossip about him. And since he said, oh, that little guy's a fucking idiot, he's the worst of us, he's gonna kill us all.
Or he dies horribly.
But I'm saying you just jump into conclusions based on, again, hearsay and like an insult. He said one bad thing.
And decades of watching anime. I could be wrong.
Oh no, I'm not saying. Look, I'm not reading into your anime literacy. Obviously, he's being set up to be the bad guy. I'm just razzling you. I guess that's a word. We existed 40 years ago, right? I'm just messing with you on the element that you had this whole thing about I wouldn't engage in gossip, and then you're taking Mitsuzuri's gossip as fact.
That was my note.
Yeah, it's like people can be inconsistent or something.
I think also, but
it's kind of funny that Archer tells Rin not to worry, as he doesn't seem to be missing anything important in regards to his memories being absent or jumbled. How would he know, right? Don't worry, I just have this massive blind spot in my history that couldn't possibly be used against me. I'm fine.
Yeah. Or he could be lying.
Doesn't matter. You're reading into motive, and I'm saying that the statement itself is the problem.
Ooh.
If he's lying about having a missing memory, then the missing memory still exists, in which case maybe somebody else finds out who you are, they know what your weakness is, you don't know that because you don't remember.
My third note and final note. The question is, who drew that cycle? It turns out the circle was already there. saw it in the first episode. There's a when
Yeah, you
there's a
don't have
panning
to
shot.
worry. I already know. I know. And
Yeah.
also the audience knows, because apparently we should also know.
But we never
I
saw
don't
it.
have the comment on hand right now because I don't remember who said it. It's something we saw in Fate Zero.
Oh, okay.
That is the shed where it was either
yeah.
Earsvale or it had to have been Earsvale, I guess, drew the circle.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that scene.
So credit to the commenter who said that in Unlimited Blade Works. I don't believe I actually asked. It's one of those things where I sometimes get information that I didn't ask for, but there it is. I know now, and we should have apparently already have known. Shiro's arm is bleeding, despite the characters referring to his hand as bleeding, as the blood is clearly coming down from under his sleeve. Also, it's a fairly thick flow of blood dripping from his fingers, so it's no light wound either. I highly doubt he cut himself last night in such a passive way that he wouldn't notice until now, to have it bleeding like that. Also, that it would have healed up enough as to not have opened up all morning, but to break open enough to do all this now while walking to school.
And also the fact that it would mess up his uniform. That is a big no-no.
It depends. He's wearing layers. It could
Yeah, no,
stain
but
up
the inner
shirt.
shirt would be white. That would get ruined if he's leading.
Right. But I thought you were indicating more so that it would appear on the outside. And it's like, well, he's wearing a coat, and I don't think.
And that too has to be kept clean.
Right, but I just don't think it would bleed through.
Maybe, depending how thin the shirt is. Probably not that thin, but
I remember once I sliced up my fingers in a shop class at school because I was stupidly playing with a razor. You can't cut yourself doing this. Cut up my end of my fingers, and then had to do a walk through the school because the shop teacher wanted to show these masks that like the previous class had made that were hanging up all through school. Hand in my pocket, literally jeans, red blood, just all on the outside of the jeans because it bled right through.
Because you didn't want to tell anybody that you were stupid and you cut your finger.
Of course not. I would never be allowed razors again. It was shop class, man. You need razors. Shinji and Shiro have been friends since grade school, but apparently he's acting differently these days. Gotta say, it's difficult to think of anyone with a Matau upbringing as being friends with anyone.
Yeah. But then again, oh, well, that's interesting, considering what we know about the Mataus, but we don't know how they... I mean, both of them are friends with Shinji, yeah, with Shiro. I keep saying Shinji instead of Shiro. Shinji and his sister are both friends, Shiro, so maybe they're being ordered to keep appearances? Keep an eye on him?
No clue. Lancer really goes out on a limb assuming things about Archer, that he's not into close quarters combat, that the fact that he isn't close combat must mean that he's Archer. I mean, could be Caster for all you know, unless Lancer's already met Caster and that's why he's making that deduction. End of the day, though, it's a stupid line. Rin's been shouting at him Archer before everything that she's told him to do the entire conversation. It's fairly obvious by now. You don't need to make deductions. If I was shouting, lessons, get over there, lessons, rebuild the wall, and you're like, I know for certain, since you're not using a gun, you must be lessons. Not the other guy? Not the other guy shouting my name all the time?
Somebody who is one of those people that refers to themselves in the third person.
Well, again, it's not you referring to yourself. It's somebody shouting your name constantly. So I know that I accidentally put a spoiler into this. Actually, before I read this note, who do you think Lancer is?
Lancer, that's Guy Bolga. He's Cole Cullen.
Okay. I could not remember if Guy Bolg had been said before, and I was very certain that I heard you say it, which...
Yes.
Yeah, well, I know that I have seen it. So, Unlimited Blade Works, again, foreknowledge. They've never said his name in Unlimited Blade Works yet, either. But it's like, ooh, I do not remember there being a scene where Lessons would have seen Guy Bolg being said. But Apparently, I must have just missed a scene that because we've both seen it. So no spoiler here.
The reason why I
No
know
spoiler
is
here. Let me
among
get to
other
the note
things.
first before. Yeah,
Literally,
I suppose a
encyclopedia
clue.
mythology.
I suppose a clue to who Archer is would be the fact that he seems to know who Lancer is. That would seem to me to make them contemporaries. That or Archer comes from a time where the legend of Lancer has yet to be surpassed by anyone else. Either way, that's a statement that is workable for me. Now we just got to tie it together with the Guy Bolg attack we heard before to mean that Lancer is an impronounceable Irish name. You already said it because I have it here in my notes. Cullen?
Oh, Cullen, yeah.
Yes.
The Hound of Cullen.
Well, I have it written in the Irish way, and then I even took the pronunciation Cool.
Cool, yeah. Cool.
Unfortunately, as a figure of myth, that makes it that incredibly hard for the sake of putting something out there. Okay, well, I don't know why I wrote this. I literally say, oh, this has to be that guy, and then I make two other guesses for some reason in my own note. For some reason, I was going to call him Aruja or Tauser. It's like, well, I just named him half a second ago. Why did I make two more guesses? Rin says that she has plenty of those gems that she used to heal Shiro, but that feels like a lie, specifically because we saw in flashback that her father gave her that one. But hey, maybe I'm just reading into that. Maybe she does have a lot of gems to do that specific thing, and this one is just a special one that her father carved into a heart and put on the necklace.
Also, the reason why I know that as well, and I was able to peg him pretty quickly, is that I read this comic.
I don't know if it's important to note or not, but Shiro leapt through a window, breaking it, while Lancer floated in the air and passed through the window without breaking it. So Lancer has the ability to pass through solid objects, it seems, and I guess, to a minor point, hover in midair.
It's interesting because he calls them at one point ghosts, but he's like, no, but ghosts, they're fighting each other, trying to kill each other. Ghosts wouldn't do that. So I guess he's familiar with other magical beings out there, like ghosts. Like he doesn't talk about ghosts like, oh, it could be ghosts. I don't know. I saw that on television. It's like, no, wait a minute. I actually have magical training. So yes, ghosts are a thing.
Who?
Shiro.
Shiro doesn't have magical training.
He does. He actually can use magic. He has a special
That doesn't
gift
mean
that
he
he
has
can
magical
read.
training. God damn it. I don't remember if I made this comment here or if I made this comment elsewhere. Technically, this doesn't break any, walls between the shows. I know I made a comment, at least I think I did, if you don't remember it, in Unlimited Blade Works about the different tiers of magic. Because we had, God, I don't remember his name. The guy who taught at the Magical Academy, the guy who ends up going into a wheelchair and being killed by Lancer in Fate Zero, he's like the top level. He is multiple generations of magic. He teaches magic, etc. Then you got Waver, who is some generations deep, but nowhere near the other guy. Wants to change up everything, right? So he's below that guy. I had a third one, I can't remember what it is, but at the very bottom is Shiro, who is basically a magical hobo. He has not been taught anything. He has a generation, apparently at least, of magic in him, which means to say that he has magical circuits. He has the ability to do magic. He is not trained whatsoever.
I would think his father would have trained him, but apparently he didn't.
Kiritsugu, the assassin?
Oh, he knows about him. He does know about magic, so yeah, he would have trained him.
He has two tricks that he knows, and that's the only thing we've ever seen him do. And
doesn't mean he
that
doesn't have
has
the knowledge,
nothing to do with what Shiro does. Shiro affects
Or
like
get it.
the make of matter. He can reinforce objects. That has nothing to do with anything we've ever seen Kiritsuga do. And again, we have been told that magic gets passed down. So
It's not his, from his father. His adopted father, because his parents are dead.
that's why I keep referring to Kiritsuga, because that's the only one I can imagine you were talking about. Because he never thinks about his actual family. His biological family, I should say.
I mean, they were actual until...
No, I'm trying to do a thing that you apparently have no problem doing, which is to say that I'm not saying that adoptive parents aren't still parents.
I mean, there's both parents. It's just that.
Yeah, but when I say actual family, that is to separate him from Kiritsugu, and that's not what I'm trying to do. So I'm implying biological parents as the defining characteristic versus his adopted parents, because all parents are parents.
It's not who makes you, is who raises you.
I don't know, Lessons. If you want to get into flowery terms, then the person who raised you probably also made you.
But in this case, no.
No, I'm saying that they made you the person that you are.
Nature
The
is a
person who
nurture. Yeah,
abandoned
but
you, who died, or whatever, they may have made you, but they didn't make you who you are. Yes, it is nature versus
is a
nurture. I know,
Yeah.
Lessons. That's what I'm getting at. I'm actually thinking more towards Guardians of the Galaxy. I might not have been your papa, but I was your daddy. Because he made him. He made him who he was by the way that he raised him.
Yeah.
Versus his dad, who we actually also saw in the show, because he goes back. Movie. I don't want to become one of those people who just refers to anything as a movie. You're old enough that
in this case,
you're old enough that you call anything a movie because it's a moving picture. They're using it in its basest form. Oh God, I saw a horror movie once. It was a train coming right at the screen.
That's old.
That's what I say. Horror movie.
Yeah.
All right. As I said, we do have comments. David Butt from the Patreon from Fateful Night. Since you asked, here are all the other Fate anime and how they connect to the original series. Most of them are barely connected at all. Fate Khalid Linear Prisma Ilya is an alternate universe spin-off where Ilya becomes a magical girl. It has 4 seasons and a movie and is based off of a manga. Fate Apocrypha takes place in an alternate universe where the Holy Grail War is fought between 2 factions, which each have their own 7 masters and servants, with the Grail going to whichever team wins. It's based off of a light novel. Today's menu for the Emily family takes place in an alternate timeline where instead of fighting the Holy Grail War, the 7 servants and 7 masters instead just decide to hang out at Shiro's house where they cook and eat food. This is based off of a manga and also has a video game adaptation. Fate Extra Last Encore is a spin-off based on a PSP game that takes place in a virtual world. It is not a direct adaptation of the game, but instead a sequel to one of the game's bad endings. The Case Files of Lord El Milloy II, that's the name I could never remember from the Fate Zero. Rail Zeppelin Grace Note follows Waver Velvet after the events of Fate Zero, where he has replaced Kaneth as the next Lord El Milloy. It is a mystery series where Waver tries to solve the mystery of who cursed him. It is the only other Fate anime to take place in the main Fate Stay Night timeline. It is based on a series of light novels.
So he's off doing mystery shit while this is happening. I guess he's not coming back to the main series.
Or in the timeline between this happening.
Yeah.
Fate Grand Order First Order adapts the mobile game Fate Grand Order's prologue. Fate Grand Order Divine Realm of the Order Camelot adapts the 4th chapter of the game's first story arc. Fate Grand Order Absolute Demonic Front Babylonia adapts the 7th and penultimate chapter of the game's first story arc.
Mm-hmm.
Fate Grand Order Final Singularity Grand Temple of the Time... Fate Grand Order Final Singularity Grand Temple of Time Solomon adapts the 8th and final chapter of the game's first story arc. Fate Strange Fake takes place in an alternate timeline of the 4th Holy Grail War that takes place in the fictional city of Snowfield, Nevada in the United States. Yes, it is confusing, but most of them only require knowledge of the main premise of the Fate series and don't require knowledge of the other stories.
I heard about Fate Grandmaster?
Grand Order.
Yeah. Grand Order. That's the one I heard the most when people say Fate. That's the one because it's tied to those video games. So, or it's based on the video games.
I know there's another one that I don't either was listed here or wasn't listed with the description. I remember specifically I asked before about a sci-fi Fate series, and there is one. Either it was we already responded to it in a previous comment, and that shows you the time frame of remembering comments, or it was answered to me in Unlimited Blade Works, in which case I just don't remember the name of it. But I do know that there's a sci-fi Fate. Alright, we also have a Zope from the Patreon, Fateful Night. Some think you don't know. In Japan, right of the land and right to the house are not the same. You could own a house but not the land. Basically, that means you need to pay a tax to owner. To be fair, it also exists in most country. It's just that in Western world, most landowner are the state, France, USA, or a region, California, Ile-de-France. It basically never a person. To be even more precise, it a different level of ownership. Basically, the right of house is what is called property right. You own the stuff where the so-called land right is the one that in Western world is quasi-exclusive of a state-like entity, and in this case, you say the land belonged to me when you spec about it, like when you say this region belonged to USA.
I think I answered that one over at the Discord. He is partially right in that property rights can be what's called divisible. In other words, if I own a parcel of land, I could give you the right to build a house on it. And you would have rights to the house, but not the land. I could give someone else the right to plant crops in it. And they will have the rights over what they're farming, but again, not the land, right? It's called the bundle of sticks. Now, the idea that private property belongs to the state. Okay, bundle of sticks.
It's
Let me
the word
explain.
you said. It's the bundle of sticks, and I only know one other word for bundle of sticks. That is like weirdly that you're putting that out there.
No, it's actually that's what it's called. Let's say if I have I have like a couple of things in my head, right? I think I have like 4 or 5 pens. Each one of these pens, it's a in this distinct separable right from the ownership of the land. So if I take this one would be you can build a house and say rent it. Like it's very simple. It's like renter versus owner, right? You can rent the house and you have the rights of a renter, but you don't are the actual owner of the house. Now, when he talks about Western nations, the land owning by the state, no, that actually doesn't work that way. You have public lands, like state parks, federal parks, etc., federal reserves, like military bases are considered federal reserves. But the land itself, most of the land in the United States is privately owned. Now, what happens is usually if you buy a home in the United States, you get ownership of the parcel, the area where the house is in, and the house itself. Mostly because of a lot of homes in the United States have basements, and if you didn't own the parcel of land wholesale when you bought it, well, actually the bank owns it because you owe money to the bank. Then your basement wouldn't belong to you because it would be below the land itself, right? There are public, there are what's called easements for water, electricity, stuff like that. Those might be owned by a state or another private entity, such as a power company, and they have easement rights or access rights to your land to provide those services. So you, for example, you can't just go out and start digging up the pipes in your land that belong to, say, the water company. You can't do that because the land belongs to you, but you have granted part of the partial of the land easement for you to have those pipes, and the pipes themselves are property of the water department or company, whatever. Right. So he's right on the first part. Wrong on the second part. Now, that would explain why it is said that not the Mateo actually, the gangster-looking dude owns the land, which the houses, the buildings are on, but that Chiro, being Emiya's adopted son and heir, owns the buildings and the right to do that. In theory, and also one of those other things that is particular to Japan, buildings tend to depreciate over time as opposed to accrue value. So if you buy, it's like a car basically. People talk about curbside value because the moment the bumper hits a curve, the car starts depreciating. Kind of like that. The moment you buy a house, the house starts appreciating value due to the fact that you can have earthquakes and mudslides and all the things in Japan. So it is the land itself that is it's far more valuable than the house itself. So usually when you sell a house, people can try to renovate it. In fact, a lot of Westerners who move to Japan try to get cheap houses and renovate them, but that's a thing that it's done mostly by Westerners. Either people maintain the house or they demolish it and build a new house in the same place. Oh, that's it. Then I think we should get into it.
But before we get started,
Make sure that you hit the like button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
on top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
Unfiltered.
Uncensored.
And uncut.
as well as some early access stuff,
You can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Yes.
Yeah, the recaps I think are a difference too.
I was gonna say maybe a note that our masters and servants. Well, I guess they are capable of falling in love. I forgot about that little factoid from the last time.
What factoid?
The fact that masters can fall in love with their servants.
You're making it sound like that's something that's happened.
It did happen. Remember what happened to the guy in the wheelchair and why his wife fell in love with the servant that he had?
There's no reciprocation there though.
True. But maybe they
Also,
might be
he was
here.
known for having a power to make women fall in love with him by incident. Not he didn't want
Yeah.
that to happen. It
No.
was the power of the mark. Yeah, like
But it can happen. Yeah,
what
the
was her name?
wart? No, not
Starts
the
with a
wart,
name. Cynthia.
mole.
Cynthia.
It's a mole.
Cynthia.
I just told you. You listen to what I just said.
Cynthia.
It's a goddamn mole. MOLE.
Yeah,
What
no,
else
I'm
could
writing
it
you
be?
off lessons because you turned into a fucking idiot. Apparently, you can tell me everything about law, but you can't remember a model from the 1980s to 1990s.
Oh, Christine. What's her name? Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
I'm sorry, lessons. I was just talking about what the fuck are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. Leaving this in because this is all going over the opening. This stupid little thing we're talking about.
No, not
What the fuck
Christine.
was her
Canyon,
name?
No.
Cindy Crawford.
Cindy Crawford. I don't know why I say Christine. Well, it's a C
You
word.
thought I was trying to name a mole? What the fuck are you on about, lessons?
It's like, what is this? It's like, it's a mole. It's like, that.
Yeah, I literally said famous for, and then was trying to name a name, and you're like, it's a mole. Yeah, I thought moles were called Cindy. What the fuck do you think?
Cindy the mole. I guess somebody might own a Cindy the mole.
It is hilarious to see the difference in budget between the two shows.
Yeah. Also H as well.
No, I'm talking about Unlimited Blade Works in this.
Oh, okay.
Because effectively it's the same scene that I'm seeing. Just the other one had like an
The thing,
unlimited
is,
budget.
the thing is that this is Ireland versus England, basically. If you think about it.
Well, we know historically which one wins.
Yeah, because Arthuria is King Arthur. Well,
You don't have to explain to
king
me
of the
who the
British.
characters are. This is the third show now that I'm seeing her in. I know who she is.
Well, actually, she's the king of the Britons, so not technically England. More like Wales.
それは剣か
さあどうかな斧か槍かいやもしや弓ということもあるかもしれんぞ
Or you're using it wrong if it's a bow.
セーバーお互い初見だしよここらで分けって気はないか
断るあなたはここで倒れろ
こっちはもともと様子見が目的だったんだぜサーバントが出たとあっちゃ長居する気はなかったんだがその心臓もらい受ける
Said Gilgamesh 10 years ago.
実相いや今のは因果の逆転か
かわしたな我が必殺のゲイボルグを
ゲイボルグオミはアイルランドの光の巫女かゲイボルグあらゆる防御を突破する
Well, I'm glad even if you didn't know. from before. We just went all into it now.
これがクランの番犬が持つ呪われた赤い槍か。
どうじったぜ。こいつを出すからには。
Also, I think this is a hell of a lot more information than I got from Unlimited Blade Works. That thing didn't go over all this shit at all.
己の正体を知られた以上、最後までやり合うのがサーバントのセオリーだが、あいにくうちの雇い主は臆病者でな。買わされたのなら帰ってこいなんて。
Now that's something he said in the other one.
逃げるのか。
追ってくるなら構わんぞ。ただし、その時は決死の覚悟を抱いてこい。
待て。
あいつ。お前何者だ。
何者も何も。
Hey, cool, we're stabbed in the same spot.
あなたが私を呼び出したのです。
Well, he's got the wound right there. She had the wound right there, too.
Well, going for the heart.
はい。ですから私のことはセーバーと。
そうか、変な名前だな。俺はエミヤシロ。つまり聞きたいことは。
分かっています。あなたは正規のマスターではないのですね。
Ah, no shock at the name Emiya.
しかし、それでもあなたは私のマスターです。契約を交わした以上。
Because it's the first show. With nobody establishing things.
ちょっと待て。俺マスターなんて名前じゃないぞ。
それでは素人。ええ。私にはこの発音の方が好ましい。
Yes, because I'm speaking Japanese and not ancient Britain.
Well, you know that they come in with knowledge at the time.
I know.
まさか俺に言ってるのか。悪いけどそんな難しい魔術は知らないし。
Technically, she's only said treat my wound. You could do first aid.
ではこのままで臨みます。自動修復は外面を覆っただけですが、あと一度の戦闘なら支障ないでしょう。
ちょっと待て。
Oh, is that? Oh, okay.
Used a command seal? Used a command seal on something that can do automatically on their own.
やめろ、セイバー。
彼女はアーチャーのマスターです。ここで仕留めておかなければ。
マスターとかなんとか言われても、こっちは点でわからないんだ。
I should point out that this is how the prologue to Unlimited Blade Works ends. The prologue ends with them getting in a fight right out here. Well, that's different too.
いつになったら剣を下げてくれるのかしら。敵を前にして下げる剣はありません。セイバーともあろうサーバントが主に逆らうって言うんだ。
お前。
Bitch, you know you want to summon me.
Yeah.
父さんか。
こんばんは、エミヤ君。まあ、これくらいエミヤ君もできるだろうけど。
You would be wrong.
俺はこんなことできないからな。
あ、こんなのどこの流派でも初歩の初歩よ。
俺は親父にしか教わったことがないから、基本とか初歩とか知らないんだ。
はあ、
Then you weren't taught at all. If you don't know the fundamentals or basics, then he didn't teach you anything.
あなた素人？
一応強化の魔術ぐらいは。
またなんとも半端なのを使うのね。それ以外はからっきしってわけ？
まあ多分。
なんだってこんなやつにセイバーが呼び出されるのよ。自分がどんな立場にあるか分かってないでしょ。
立場って？
あなたはあるゲームに巻き込まれたのよ。聖杯戦争っていう7人のマスター
It's a game filled with
殺し合い。
squids.
聖杯戦争？
We call it Squid
殺し
Game.
合い？
エミヤ君はマスターに選ばれたの。どっちかの手に聖魂があるでしょ。3つの霊樹。
I don't know, that's the right
マ
word.
スターの証よ。何十年に一度7人のマスターが選ばれ、マスターにはそれぞれサーバントが与え
Elected by
ら
the
れ、
Grail.
聖杯を奪い合う戦いが行われる。私もマスターに選ばれた一人。
I mean, you don't have to kill the master, you only kill the servant, right? Well, actually, no, you have to kill the master too.
No comment.
言いつけを守らせる呪文がその刻印。ただし、1回使うたびに1つずつ減っていくから、使うなら2回にとどめなさい。
待てって。
Yeah, and I think Rin only has one left now. I don't know why she commanded Archer to go invisible.
I mean, I don't think she used the command seal, though.
She
Oh,
did.
yeah,
It
yes, she
literally
did.
vanished off her hand.
霊体に戻ることも魔力の回復も難しいでしょう。私があなたのマスターならどっちも簡単にできるのに。
それ俺がふさわしくないってことか。
当然でしょ、ヘッポコ。
よっ
さて、そろそろ行きましょうか。
行くってどこへ？
この戦いを監督しているやつのところよ。
Obviously, you can guess who that would be.
Yeah, son of a bitch.
Whose name I bet you can't remember either.
No, I can't remember, but I know who he is.
鎧は脱がないって言うんだから。
Rose priest. I think that he's still, yeah, he's still a priest.
I mean, that's half the name right there. You want to guess the first half?
私は城を守るためについてきたのです。目的地が教会ならこれ以上遠くへは行かないでしょう。
Yeah, you're not so safe in a church, so.
私の後見人よ。
I mean, technically, you should be.
Yeah, but remember that he actually killed his father in a church.
His father wasn't a master in the war.
And
His father was just a person.
actually, he was the guardian of the war.
Yeah, but he wasn't in the war. He's the overseer of the war. That doesn't make him immune to anything.
できれば知り合いたくなかったけど。
私も死を敬う弟子など持ちたくなかった。
7人目のマスターを連れてきたわよ。一応魔術師だけど中身は点で素人だから見てられなくって。
君の名は何というのかな。
エミヤシロ。
エミヤシロ。
Well, at least you show some response to it. Saber didn't.
それは違う。マスターとか聖杯戦争とか俺には点でわからない。
Remember, it's the first show. We gotta get people on board with the premise.
リンが私を頼ったのはこれが初めてだ。エミヤシロに感謝をしてもしたいないな。いいか、マスターというものは他人に譲れるものではないし。
Not true. Saw that in Fate Zero too.
その霊樹とは聖魂でもある。マスターとは与えられた試練だ。都合が悪いからといって放棄することはできん。マスターを辞めたいというのであれば、聖杯を手に入れ、己が望みを叶えるより他はない。
Well, he wants to see it to it end, so he wants him to see what he's capable of. That's why he's telling
I
him
mean,
that.
technically, you could just make 3 commands. You would lose all your command seals and no longer be a master at that point.
初めからやり直すことすら可能だろうよ。故に望むがいい。もしその時が来るなら、君はマスターに選ばれた幸運に感謝するのだからな。その目に見えない火傷の跡を消したいのなら、聖魂を受け入れるだけでいい。
きれい。回りくどい言い方はしない。
See, they called it stigma over there, and he's calling it stigmata, which I think would be the more accurate term.
では本題に戻ろうか。この戦いは聖杯戦争と呼ばれ、7人のマスターがサーバントを用いて繰り広げる争奪戦。我らとて好きでこのような非道を行っているわけではない。
Oh, you
す
do?
べては聖杯にふさわしいものを選抜するための儀式だ。
そんな聖杯なんて伝説の。
この町に現れる聖杯は本物だ。その
Not sure the Christians are going to be happy calling it legends.
などという法外な奇跡が起きているだろう。サーバントとは精霊に近い存在。
We just put a filter on that fight that you just saw happen a minute ago.
伝説上の英雄が聖杯によって受肉化されたものだ。彼らは基本的に霊体としてマスターのそばにいるが、必要とあれば実体化させ、戦わせること。
Except for literally your two, who are outside somewhere.
マスターがヘッポコだから霊体になれないの。
死者の蘇生に近いこの奇跡はすでに魔法と言える。これだけの力を持つ聖杯ならば、持ち主に無限の力を与えよう。ものの心眼など
Except that you have to know how to do what you want to do with the Holy Grail.
But they don't know that. And does he know that? Did he hear that? No, he didn't hear that part of the conversation. That was between him and Emiya.
I'm just stating an absolute fact. Not that they know it.
その自由は我々にはない。聖杯は自らを持つにふさわしい人間を選び、彼らを競わせてただ一人
Just some asshole. Well, again, yeah. Well, if we know what we know about the Grail is still true here, then yeah, it chooses some pretty asshole people.
これが聖杯戦争。聖杯に選ばれ、手に入れるために殺し合う
Why are you saying that? Kiritsugu just wanted world peace.
Yeah, but also chose the guy, what was his name? The fat boy, the fat Cthulhian guy who was a killer of kids.
Ryunosuke wasn't fat.
No, his servant was.
Yeah, but the idea is that the Grail picks people.
Yeah. And he was a killer of kids.
Yeah, but I mean, you're making a blanket statement. Kiritsugu probably also killed kids, but he wanted world peace.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, it does.
Cannot achieve world peace by murdering children.
People are going to be so upset. We're talking over the main impetus of the entire show right now. I've seen this once. You're the one who needs to pay attention.
君は自分のサーバントを倒せると思う。
When I say seen this once, the scene happened verbatim in Unlimited Blade
マ
Works.
スターには無論のこと。同じサーバントをもってしても破りがたい。だが、サーバントはマスターがいなければ存在できん。
I guess that's a way to unveil these two.
サーバントを消す最も効率的な手段。
ただし、マスターを失ったサーバントはすぐに消えるわけじゃないわ。別なマスターが0時をもって新たに契約をすることも可能よ。マスターを失った
As we saw in Fate Zero.
サーバントを失ったマスターが再契約して宣戦布帰することもできるわけ。
じゃあ0時を使い切ったらどうなるんだ。そうすれば今のサーバントも自由になって他のマスターと契約しちまうんじゃないのか。
その通りだ。0時さえ使い切ってしまえばマスターの責務からは解放される。もっともそんな魔術師がいるとしたらそれは半人前どころかただのふぬけということだ。君がそうした場合安全は私が保証しよう。
That's the one person I would not put my safety on.
Well, no one here knows, so
この町で行われている聖杯戦争はこれで5度目。前回の戦いは10年前だ。
正気かお前ら。こんなことを4回も繰り返してきたって。
過去の聖杯
technically we're doing it 5 times because we're currently doing it. You best start believing in Grail Wars because you're in one.
そのため3度目からは魔術協会が監督役を派遣するようになった。それが私の父だ。私はその職務を受け継いでいるのだよ。
Inherit is an interesting term
It's
here.
not untrue.
随分タッチが悪いものなんだ。
He did inherit it.
ほう。
だって
His dad died, and he got the position from him.
He murdered him, though.
そんな連中が聖杯を手に入れて
You're just adding
仕事で
words.
使ったらどうなるんだ。
That's exactly what happened.
殺すような奴に
You're adding
聖杯が
words.
渡ったらまずいだろう。
I'm clarifying.
No one asked for it.
Doesn't matter.
You're gossiping.
Not really, I saw it.
Yeah, no one asked, though. You're adding information to other people who didn't ask for it. You're gossiping. They didn't see it.
余計なお世話だ。俺には戦う理由がないし、聖杯なんてものに興味もない。
では聖杯を手に入れた人間がどんな才能
Which also has to be untrue.
それにも興味はないのだ。
The Grail doesn't pick people who don't have
例えば
wishes.
10年前の出来事にもお前は関心がないのだな。前の聖杯戦争の最後にふさわしくない者が聖杯に触れた。そのマスターが何を望んでいたかは知らん。我々にわかるのはその時に残された。
I'm gonna go outside and ask Saber. She knows.
そうだ。未だもって原因不明とされるあの火災こそが聖杯戦争による爪痕だ。
エミオ君、どうしたのよ。
いや、大丈夫だ。それで。
Yeah, where the fuck were you, Rin? Oh, never mind, I guess you were technically outside the city at the time.
どうにもならん。言ったろ。
This is that we see her right after the events and she's back at her home in the city.
別の男がその前に聖杯に手を触れたこともある。だが、その男は戦いを回避し、聖杯は完成に至らなかった。7人のサーバントが揃い、時が満ちれば聖杯はおのずと現れる。
Also, that could only have been you.
戦いを回避した男を聖杯は自らの所有者とは認めなかったのだ。
Well, of course not, because there was another master still alive. The Grail War wasn't over.
聖杯を手に入れても無意味ってことでしょ。前回最初に聖杯を手に入れたマスターはアマちゃんだったのよ。
I don't know, sentimental was the word I would use.
あんたがそのマスターだったのか。
途中までは
Oh, well, that's a pretty quick way to jump right into that.
私はサーバントを失い、監督役の父に保護されたよ。
This is not a conversation that happened in the other show.
聖杯を手にする資格があるのはサーバントを従えたマスターのみ。君たち7人が最後の一人となったとき、聖杯は勝者のもとに現れよ。改めて聞こう。
Do you like my LED lights that I installed in the church?
この聖杯戦争を戦う意志があるや否や。
戦う。10年前の火事の原因が聖杯戦争だって言うなら、あんな出来事を2度も起こさせるわけにはいかない。
I mean, a bit more than a fire.
決まりね。さあ帰りましょう。
喜べ少年。君の願いはようやく叶う。明確な悪がいなければ、君の望みは叶わない。たとえそれが君にとって容認し得ぬものであろうと、正義には対立すべき悪が必要だ。君にとって最も崇高な願いと最も醜悪な望みは同じ意味を持っている。何？取り繕う必要はない。君の葛藤は人間としてとても正しい。
Yep, sounds like a priest.
義理は果たしたわ。
Also, somebody who knows who he is and what he wants.
おだてたって手は抜かないわよ。シロ。
Oh, hey, it's my sister, my adopted sister.
こんばんはお兄ちゃん。こうして会うのは2度目だね。
Randomly on the street? Yeah. It actually is.
Wait a minute, isn't she supposed to be the Grail, though?
Welcome to my comment section. Not my comment section, my
Yeah.
note section from... I mean, I'm uncertain of what the fuck's going on there either, so... I will
shouldn't
say
be one
that's
of the
basically how the same episode ended in Unlimited Blade
Oh.
Works. It was on the street. The difference is that they had more scene there with Kirei, because Kirei's like, oh, I'm that guy from the last Grail War. He didn't say that shit in Unlimited Blade Works. He just like intuits that, not intuits, he implies that there was a guy who did this thing.
Yeah.
And Shiro doesn't like, it was you. No, that doesn't happen at all. They actually have a different scene that didn't happen here, or they're walking to the church, and Shiro is like, okay, if anything happens, it's nighttime, things are dangerous, I'll protect you both. And they have a conversation about, he's kind of stupid. Like, I'm a servant, I have superpowers, you're a master mage. He means he'll defend us. He means like we're two women out at night, he'll defend us. Some shit. He's a hero or something.
Good intentions, not the skill to back it up.
It's just there's a scene that didn't happen here, it happened there, and in here we got Kirei like outing himself. Stay night.
Stay night.
Ah, I did it fast.
Take it that's Berserker?
Again, this music would be perfect for a sci-fi show.
次回最強の敵
Obviously, I'm well ahead of this, so I can't like say anything about the next time on.
Interesting all around. The problem is they're setting up Shiro to be the hero, literally. He's the weakest of them all. I mean,
From
he has the
Shiro to
strongest
hero?
servant. Yeah. He definitely has the strongest servant, but he's the weakest mage.
Does he have the strongest servant?
I mean, Saber has what's the power that they have? Is just an anti-castle, anti-fortification, anti-fortress.
Power's called
ability.
Noble Phantasm because everybody has a Noble Phantasm.
Yeah, but part of that is he has the invisible sword and the
Yeah, I don't understand why you're saying that makes them the strongest. I mean, unless you're somebody else's servant is a fortress. I don't know. Like, we're not living in a time where people are living in fortresses now where I need Saber to break down the wall so we can get in.
Yeah, but it's the one that does massive damage.
Conceivably, they all do massive damage.
Interesting episode. Waiting to see what happens next. More of it all. And hopefully they have more notes this time around. Or next time around.
So the entire episode, that's all you had to say is this two lines.
I mean, aside for the fact that Rin was so steeped into this, just didn't kill him outright. It's like, I want to take pity on you.
You literally thought I should have put a purple arrow on that line from Rin to Shiro. So you're questioning now why she wouldn't have killed him outright? Keeping in mind that she's also the one that saved his life just a moment ago?
Twice. Well, moments ago from the point of view, because this is the same night.
What do you mean twice? He only saved his life once.
Well, yeah. Saber saved him second time, because,
Yeah, okay. You're talking about
Coco was about to kill him, and he...
No, I'm saying that Rin saved his life.
Using the jewel,
Right. And then you're just shifting to Saber saving his life. Now we're just going into a category of who's saved Shiro's life so far.
Yeah. But eventually, I guess... Well, I mean, in the original, if you destroyed the servant and you didn't pass the servant, the servant, then you were out of the Grail War. That's what happened to, what's his name?
No.
And, Alexander died.
No, he was out because he used all his 3 command seals. Made him not a master. The opposite is true because you know that because Kirei, assassin, died. Kirei had no servant, but he still had command seals. And that's how Gilgamesh became his servant. Yeah. So his servant died, he got a new servant. Waver's servant died after Waver used all of his command seals to order Iskander to win.
Yeah, Alexander, yeah. Yeah, but he survived Gilgamesh because of what happened with the Grail, the whole building of the dark.
You need to clarify.
Thing. Huh?
You said a general name. You needed to give a name. You said he survived. We've talked
Gilgamesh.
about 4 people,
Gilgamesh.
right? 5 people, actually.
Gilgamesh survived and became his own entity because of the spilling of the blood of the Holy Grail.
I don't think you can qualify a because of. We don't know why Gilgamesh is around right now. Fate Zero didn't spell it out for us. Assumedly, Fate Stay Night will, because assumedly he must still be around.
Also, if he's still around and is independent, can then... Well, I guess no, you need certain master. He has no master, so he's not really part of the Grail War.
Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
As you so pointed out a moment ago, it looked like Ilya with a servant.
Yeah.
Is it Ilya the Grail? So if Ilya is the Grail, how does Ilya have a servant? Did she pick herself?
I guess.
And does that make Ilya a pick-me girl?
Well, not a pick-me girl, more like a pick-self girl.
Well, I'm just using the same term.
Pick.
Ilya picked herself. She picked me.
Yeah. Oh, no. 5 more questions in this episode will deem us to answer. We have, 34 episodes to go? Give or take? Yeah. How many episodes is this?
Okay, I don't know. You're the one who came up with a number. I don't know. I never said anything.
That's a good answer. Yeah, sure. Very helpful. Yeah.
What would be the answer if I don't know the answer?
Okay. I thought you would know, but
I don't.
you
I
don't.
literally tabbed over to my folder and realized I've been downloading these one at a time.
Yeah. Well, that,
But you're the one who
Doesn't
came up with like 36 of them more to go. And it's like, I don't know where that number comes from. We've never discussed it before.
we check it out then. Fates, Day 9.
Well, it implies to me that you're just making numbers up off the top of your head.
Episodes. 24, not 36. Well, it's shorter. Yep, it's 24 episodes. So we're 22 down, 24 to go. 22 to go. Sorry.
Yes. Math. Something we both excel in.
Yeah.
At the very least, I'm not making a fool of myself here. I didn't know the answer to begin with and have sat on my throne of ignorance. Where you made up 36, found out it was 24, and then couldn't do 24 minus 2 in front of us all. I studied law. I didn't study math.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not an excuse. I'm pretty sure you have to have some math skills in order to practice law.
Yeah, I'm also mathematically dyslexic, so yeah, that's that thing.
That's fine. I was talking about being literally dyslexic. That's not the right word.
It's still never
Well, I was
mind.
going for literal, not literally, literary.
Literary.
No,
Yeah.
not literal. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not going literally dyslexic. Literally dyslexic.
Problem with the words and shit. Yeah, I get it.
Well, again, I don't know what the fuck is happening. I read my own notes, and it's like all the middle parts of the words are just out of order for some reason. Now, I mean, I'm not reading them that way. Apparently, I'm typing them that way, which I have no idea what the fuck that means.
Yeah, this episode, intriguing. Like it. Want to see what happens next.
All right. Well, I guess with all of that, then once again, I have been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?